My own mother looked me dead in the eye at my wedding rehearsal and said, "You're too dark to be beautiful, Amari." 400 guests laughed. Not awkward chuckles, real laughter like it was the joke of the century. I stood there in my white dress, feeling every pair of eyes burning into my skin. My fiancé Marcus didn't say a word. His family, wealthy, light-skinned, connected, they just smiled. His mother leaned over to her sister and whispered, loud enough for me to hear, "We told him to find someone more appropriate." Marcus's father cleared his throat. "Miss Destiny, we've discussed this. There are treatments, procedures. If you want to marry into this family, certain adjustments need to be made." "You want me to bleach my skin?" My voice came out smaller than I wanted. "We're offering to pay for it," his mother added, like she was doing me a favor. "Otherwise, we'll have to cancel everything. We have a reputation to maintain." The room went silent. Not the good kind. The kind where everyone's waiting to see you break. I felt my hands shaking, my throat closed up. I wanted the earth to swallow me whole. Then the doors exploded open. Not opened, exploded. The sound cracked through the hall like thunder. Every head turned. The laughter died instantly. A man walked in. 6'3" of pure, lethal elegance. Korean. Dark suit that probably cost more than my college education. Hair swept back perfectly, eyes so dark they looked like black, and the way he moved, it was like watching a predator walk through a room full of prey. The entire hall went silent, like death just walked in. Because it had. If you're already hooked by this story, kindly comment where you're watching us from, and also smash that like button and subscribe to Love and Tension for more intense romance stories that'll keep you up at night. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. I'd never seen him before in my life, but everyone else had. I could tell by the way Marcus's father went pale, by the way his uncle, the one who ran some shady investment firm, actually took a step back. The man walked through the crowd like they weren't even there. People moved without him saying a word. His footsteps echoed in the sudden silence. He stopped right in front of me. Up close, he was even more terrifying. Sharp jawline, a small scar above his left eyebrow, eyes that looked like they'd seen things that would make normal people lose sleep for years. He reached out his hand. I just stared at it. "Amari Destiny," he said. His voice was smooth, but had an edge to it like a blade wrapped in silk. "You're coming with me." I don't know you," I whispered. "You will." He took my hand anyway. His grip was firm, but not rough. Protective. Marcus finally found his voice. "Who the hell are you? You can't just walk in here and—" The man turned his head slightly. Just slightly. Didn't even fully look at Marcus. "Speak again, and I'll remove your tongue." It wasn't loud, wasn't a shout, but Marcus went quiet like someone had flipped a switch. The man turned back to me, still holding my hand. "My name is Jung-soo." He paused. Let it sink in. "And from this moment forward, anyone who disrespects this woman will kneel before my wife, or they'll kneel before their grave." The room erupted. Not in laughter, in panic. "Your wife?" Marcus's mother's voice cracked. "She's engaged to our son." Jung-soo's expression didn't change. Not anymore. He pulled me toward the door. I should have resisted, should have asked questions, but something in me, some instinct I didn't know I had, told me to trust this complete stranger over the people I'd known for 2 years. Marcus grabbed my other arm. "Amari, don't be stupid. You don't know what you're doing." Jung-soo stopped walking. He looked down at Marcus's hand on my arm, then back up at Marcus's face. "Remove your hand, or I'll remove your arm." Marcus let go so fast he stumbled backward. We made it outside. A black car was waiting. Sleek, expensive, windows tinted so dark you couldn't see inside. A man in a suit opened the door. Jung-soo guided me in, then slid in beside me. The door closed. The silence was immediate. "Breathe," he said. I realized I'd been holding my breath. I let it out shakily. "What just happened?" "I saved you from making the worst mistake of your life. You don't even know me." He turned to look at me. Really, look at me. And for the first time, I saw something other than that terrifying calm, something almost soft. I know you work 2 jobs to send money to your grandmother in Lagos. I know you reorganize the books at the library every Thursday, even though it's not your job, because you like order. I know you hum old jazz songs when you think no one's listening. I know your favorite flowers are sunflowers because they always face the light, and you said once that you wished you were that brave. My mouth went dry. How do you know all that? I've been watching you for 8 months. I should have been terrified, should have demanded he let me out of the car, but all I could think was, someone saw me, really saw me. Why? I whispered. Because 8 months ago, you were walking home from your night shift at the hospital. You saw 3 men beating another man in an alley. You called the police. You waited with the victim until the ambulance came. You held his hand and told him he was going to be okay. I remembered that night. The man had been Korean, older. He'd squeezed my hand so tight, that was my father, Jung-soo said. Everything clicked into place. The expensive suit, the fear in everyone's eyes, the way he moved like violence was a language he spoke fluently. Yes, the head of the biggest crime organization in Seoul. He said it like he was telling me his job was accounting. My father died 2 days after that attack, but before he did, he told me about you. The dark-skinned woman who stopped when everyone else walked by, who stayed when she had every reason to leave. I'm sorry, I said, about your father. Don't be. He was ready, but he gave me a mission. He said, that woman has a light in her. Protect it. The world will try to put it out. Don't let them. So you've been, stalking me? Protecting you. He pulled out his phone, swiped a few times, then showed me the screen. Do you know what Marcus does for a living? The screen showed financial records, offshore accounts, names I recognized from the news, politicians, criminals. He launders money for human traffickers. His shipping business is a front. Those adjustments they wanted you to make? You'd have been married for 6 months before you disappeared. Sold to the highest bidder in Dubai or Moscow. I was going to be sick. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Would you have believed me? Or would you have thought I was the monster trying to ruin your happy ending? He was right. I wouldn't have believed him. What happens now? I asked. Now? Jung-soo looked out the window. Now I take you somewhere safe, and we figure out what you want to do next. The safe house was not what I expected. I pictured some dark warehouse or concrete bunker. Instead, it was a penthouse apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Minimalist furniture, everything in shades of black, white, and gray. It looked like a magazine spread. You'll stay here, Jung-soo said. No one knows about this place except me and 2 of my most trusted men. I can't just hide forever. You won't have to. Marcus's family will come looking. When they do, I'll handle it. Handle it how? He didn't answer, just walked to the kitchen and poured 2 glasses of whiskey, handed me one. I didn't usually drink, but I downed it in one gulp. It burned going down. Easy, he said, almost smiling. That's 50-year-old scotch, not water. Sorry. I set the glass down. This is all... It's too much. I know. Why are you doing this? Really, your father's dying wish can't be the only reason. Jung-soo was quiet for a long moment. He walked to the window, hands in his pockets, looking out at the city lights. 8 months ago, I was ready to die, he said finally. This life, it takes everything from you. Your soul, your humanity. I'd become a machine, killing, stealing, manipulating. It was all I knew. He turned to look at me. Then I saw you in that alley. You were terrified. I could see it, but you stayed anyway. You held my father's hand and you sang to him, some old hymn. His eye is on the sparrow. You have the worst singing voice I've ever heard, by the way. Despite everything, I laughed. I know, but you sang anyway, because you thought it would comfort him. And it did. Jung-soo's expression softened. For the first time in 15 years, I saw something that reminded me that good people still exist, that kindness isn't just a weakness someone will exploit. So you watched me? I did. And the more I watched, the more I saw someone who was invisible, to the people around her. You worked yourself to exhaustion and no one noticed. You smiled when you were dying inside and no one cared. That fiancé of yours? He didn't see you. He saw a trophy, something he could own and sell. The tears came before I could stop them. Big, ugly tears that I'd been holding back for 2 years. Jung-soo crossed the room in 3 steps. He didn't touch me, just held out a handkerchief. You deserve to be seen, Amari Destiny. Not for what someone wants you to be, for who you are. I took the handkerchief, wiped my eyes. You're a crime boss. I am. You've probably killed people. I have. You should be terrified of you. You should be. I looked up at him, but I'm not. Something shifted in his eyes, something dangerous and warm at the same time. That's a problem, he said quietly. Why? Because I'm trying to keep you safe, and that includes keeping you safe from me. It happened 3 days later. I was in the kitchen making coffee when I heard the sound. Glass breaking, footsteps, too many footsteps. Jung-soo appeared out of nowhere. He had been in his office on a call. Now, he had a gun in his hand. Bedroom, now, lock the door. Don't come out until I tell you to. What's happening? They found us. Go. I ran. Behind me, I heard shouting, gunshots, the sounds of fighting. I locked myself in the bedroom, hands shaking so hard I could barely turn the lock. More gunshots. Closer this time. Someone screamed, then silence. The doorknob turned. I backed away from the door, looking for anything I could use as a weapon. Amari, it's me, Jung-soo's voice. I unlocked the door. He was covered in blood. Not his, I realized. His suit was ruined. His hair was messed up for the first time since I'd met him, but his eyes were calm. We need to leave, now. Are you hurt? No, but we don't have time. There are more coming. He grabbed my hand and we ran. Through the penthouse, past 3 bodies I tried not to look at, down a back stairwell I didn't know existed, into an underground garage where another car was waiting. We were on the highway before I could catch my breath. Who were they? I asked. Marcus sent them. He's more desperate than I thought. Jung-soo's hands were tight on the steering wheel. This is my fault. I underestimated how valuable you are to him. What do we do? We end this. He pulled out his phone, made a call, spoke in rapid Korean, then hung up. I'm calling in every favor I have, every alliance. Marcus's family is about to learn what happens when you threaten what's mine. I'm not yours, I said automatically. He glanced at me. Aren't you? I didn't have an answer for that. Jung-soo took me to his real headquarters, a building downtown that looked like a normal office complex from the outside. Inside, it was something else entirely. Men in suits everywhere. Not corporate suits, the kind of suits that hide guns. They all stopped and bowed when they saw Jung-soo. Their eyes flicked to me with curiosity, but no one said anything. We went to the top floor, a conference room with a massive table. Jung-soo gestured for me to sit. You're safer here than anywhere else in the city, he said. No one's stupid enough to attack this building. What are you going to do? I'm going to make a deal with Marcus's family. They give up their trafficking operation and leave the country, or I dismantle everything they've built piece by piece. They'll never agree to that. They will when they see what I've already done. He opened his laptop, turned it to face me. On the screen were live feeds. Marcus's family's warehouses, their shipping containers, their bank accounts, all of them being raided simultaneously by people in Jung-soo's organization. You did all this in 3 days? I did all this in 3 hours. He closed his laptop. I've been building a case against them for 8 months. I was waiting for the right moment. They gave it to me when they sent men to kill you. The door opened. One of Jung-soo's men walked in, whispered something in Korean. Jung-soo's expression darkened. What? I asked. Marcus is here. He's demanding to see you. Absolutely not. He says if he doesn't see you in the next 5 minutes, he'll start killing hostages. He has 3 of my men. Jung-soo's jaw clenched. He's bluffing. Is he? We stared at each other. I could see the calculation in his eyes, the cost-benefit analysis, 3 lives versus my safety. I'll go, I said. No, they're your people. You can't just let them die. I can and I will if it means you stay safe. I stood up. Jung-soo, let me go. I'll be fine. You don't know that. Then come with me. But we're going. For the first time, I saw him hesitate, saw the mask crack just a little bit. And I realized something that terrified me. This man, This dangerous, powerful, ruthless crime boss actually cared what happened to me. Not as a mission, not as a dying wish from his father, as me. The meeting took place in a warehouse, neutral ground. Jung-soo brought 20 men, Marcus brought 15. We were outnumbered if you counted his hostages. Marcus stood in the center. He looked different than I remembered, desperate, angry. His expensive suit was wrinkled. "Amari," he said when he saw me. "Finally! Come here." "No," I simply said. "What?" I said no. Jung-soo stepped forward. "Release my men, then we'll talk. I'll release them when she comes back to me." "That's not happening," I said. Marcus laughed. It wasn't a nice sound. "You think you have a choice? You think this gangster actually cares about you? He's using you. The second you're not useful anymore, he'll throw you away. Like you were going to. Before you sold me?" The warehouse went completely silent. Marcus's face went pale. That's not true." "I've seen the bank records," I said. My voice was steady, even though my hands were shaking. "I've seen the contracts, the shipping manifests. You were going to marry me, wait 6 months, then report me missing. By the time anyone looked for me, I'd be in another country, another continent." "You don't understand," Marcus said desperately. "My family, we needed the money. The business was failing, and so you decided to sell a human being?" He had no answer for that. Jung-soo pulled out his phone. "I'm going to give you one chance, Marcus. One. Release my men. Dismantle your operation. Leave the country. If you do all 3, you live. And if I don't, then I kill you where you stand. I kill everyone in your family who knew about this, and I burn everything you've ever built to the ground." Jung-soo's voice was completely calm, like he was discussing the weather. "You have 60 seconds to decide." The seconds ticked by. I could see Marcus weighing his options, looking for a way out. There wasn't one. "Fine," he said finally. "Fine, you win." He gestured to his men. They brought out Jung-soo's 3 captured men, roughed up but alive. They walked across the empty space between the 2 groups. When they reached our side, Jung-soo nodded to his lieutenant. "See them to medical." Then he turned back to Marcus. "You have 48 hours to leave the country. If you're still here after that, the deal is off. What about my family, our assets? Already frozen, already seized. You'll get enough to start over somewhere else. But your trafficking days are done." Marcus looked at me one last time. "You're making a mistake. He's a monster." "Maybe, but at least he's honest about it." Back at headquarters, I sat in Jung-soo's office while he handled the cleanup. Watched him on phone calls in Korean, giving orders, checking reports. He moved like a machine, efficient, ruthless, completely in control. When he finally hung up, he poured himself a drink, drank it in one gulp, poured another. "Are you okay?" I asked. "I should be asking you that." I don't know what I am." He sat down across from me. "You're free. Marcus is gone. His family's gone. You're safe. Because of you." "Yes." "And now what?" I asked. "I just go back to my normal life? Pretend none of this happened?" "If that's what you want." "What if it's not what I want?" Jung-soo went very still. "Amari, you said you've been watching me for 8 months, learning about me, protecting me." I leaned forward. "Did you ever think about what I might want?" "Every day." And you deserve better than this life. Better than me." I stood up, walked around the desk. He tracked my movement like a predator, but he didn't move. "What if I don't want better?" I asked. "What if I want real? I'm a criminal. I know. I've killed people. I'll kill more. I know. Being with me means danger, constantly. Your life will never be normal. My life was never normal." I was close enough to touch him now. Normal was being invisible. Normal was being told I wasn't good enough. Normal was almost being sold like property. "Amari, you see me. You actually see me. Not what you want me to be, not what you can use me for. Just me." He stood up slowly. We were inches apart now. "If you do this," he said quietly, "there's no going back. Once you're mine, you're mine. I don't share. I don't let go." "Good," I said, "because I don't want you to." He kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was desperate and fierce, and 8 months of wanting compressed into a single moment. His hands cupped my face like I was something precious and fragile, like I might disappear if he didn't hold on tight enough. When we finally broke apart, we were both breathing hard. "This is insane," I whispered. "Yes. We barely know each other." "I know everything about you." "That's creepy." "I know." He smiled, actually smiled. It transformed his entire face. "But you're still here." I was, and I had no intention of leaving. 3 weeks in, Jong-soo had a problem. One of his rivals, a man named Park, who ran the Northern District, demanded a meeting, and he wanted me there. "Absolutely not," Jong-soo said when he told me. "What does he want?" "To see if you're real. To see if the great Jong-soo has actually gone soft for a woman." "Have you?" He looked at me. "Yes." The honesty of it made my chest tight. "Then let me come. Let me prove I'm not a weakness." "You're not a weakness. You're—" He stopped himself. "You're what?" "You're everything." I kissed him. Soft this time, slow. "Then trust me." The meeting was in a restaurant. Public. Lots of witnesses. Park was older, mid-50s, with cold eyes and a smile that never reached them. "So, this is the famous Amari, the woman who tamed Jong-soo. No one tames anyone. We chose each other," I said evenly. "Chosen? How romantic." He leaned forward. "Do you know what he does? The real work? The things he doesn't tell you about?" "I know enough. Do you know about the family in Busan? The ones who couldn't pay their debts? He burned their house down with them inside." I felt Jong-soo tense beside me, felt the air in the room change. "That family," I said slowly, "ran a child prostitution ring. I read the file." Park blinked. You have read his files?" "All of them." I looked at Jong-soo. "He doesn't hide what he is from me. He's brutal, he's ruthless, he's violent. But he's also fair. He has lines he doesn't cross, and he protects people who can't protect themselves." "You're naive," Park said. "No, I'm awake. Maybe for the first time in my life." Park studied me for a long moment. Then he started laughing. "You're serious? You actually love this monster?" "Yes," I said simply. "Then you're either the bravest woman I've ever met or the stupidest. Can't I be both?" That surprised him. He looked at Jong-soo. "You picked well. She's got spine." "I know." The meeting ended without violence. As we left, Jong-soo took my hand. "You didn't have to defend me." "Yes, I did. Because it's true. All of it." "Even the monster part?" I stopped walking, turned to face him. "You're not a monster. You're a man who does monstrous things in a monstrous world. But you're trying. You're trying to be better. For your father, for yourself, for me. You see too much." "Good. Someone should." 2 months in, everything changed. I was at the apartment, the new one Jong-soo had moved me to after the last attack. Safer, more secure. I was reading when my phone rang. Unknown number. I should have ignored it, but something made me answer. "Hello? Amari Destiny." A woman's voice, accented. Russian, maybe. "You don't know me, but I know you. I know everything about you." My blood went cold. "Who is this?" "Someone who's very interested in you. Your boyfriend has made a lot of enemies. Did you know that? And you're his weakness. His only weakness." "What do you want?" "I want you to deliver a message. Tell Jong-soo that if he doesn't back out of the Incheon deal, you die." Simple as that. The line went dead. I sat there, phone in my shaking hand, trying to process what just happened. When Jong-soo came home an hour later, I told him everything. Watched his face go from concerned to furious to completely blank. That blank expression scared me more than anything. "The Incheon deal," he said slowly, "is a weapons shipment. If I back out, Park takes over. Park, who sells to terrorist organizations, who doesn't care who gets hurt as long as he gets paid." "So what do we do?" "We? No, there's no we. You're leaving tonight. I'm sending you somewhere safe until this is over." "No." "Amadi, this isn't a debate." "You're right, it's not." I stood up. "I'm not leaving you to handle this alone. If you stay, you die. Do you understand that? These people don't make idle threats. Then protect me. I'm trying to. By sending me away? By making me hide? I walked up to him. I didn't choose this life to be locked in a cage. I chose it to be with you, all of you, even the dangerous parts. This is different. How? Because I can't, his voice cracked, actually cracked. I can't lose you. The vulnerability in those words broke something in me. Then don't, I said softly. Don't lose me. Fight for me. We'll do it together. You don't know what you're asking. I know exactly what I'm asking. I'm asking you to trust me, to let me stand beside you instead of behind you. He pulled me into his arms, held me so tight I could barely breathe. If anything happens to you, it won't, because you won't let it. Jung-soo made a decision. Instead of backing out or hiding me, he went on the offensive. He called every ally he had, every favor owed, every alliance built, over 15 years of running Seoul's underworld. And he made it clear, anyone who came after me was declaring war on everyone. The response was immediate. 30 organizations pledged support, 500 men, more firepower than I'd ever seen in my life. Is this all for me? I asked, looking at the security footage of armed men surrounding the building. This is for us. Jung-soo corrected. You are mine. That makes you family, and we protect family. The attack came 2 days later. They hit 3 of Jung-soo's warehouses simultaneously, tried to draw his forces away from the main building, but he had anticipated it, kept his best men close. When the assault on headquarters began, I was in the safe room with 6 guards, watching everything on monitors, watching Jung-soo coordinate the defense like a general. He was terrifying. Efficient. He didn't just fight, he dismantled. Every move calculated, every order precise. The battle lasted 4 hours. When it was over, 23 bodies were being removed from the building. None of them were Jung-soo's people. He came to the safe room covered in blood again. But this time when I touched his face, he leaned into it. It's over, he said. The Russian woman? Dead. Along with everyone she sent. He kissed my palm. You're safe now. We're safe, I corrected. We're safe. 6 months after that night at my wedding rehearsal, Jung-soo took me to a private beach. Just the 2 of us. No guards, no danger. Just us. I need to tell you something, he said as we walked along the water. Okay? When my father died, he told me to protect your light, to make sure the world didn't put it out. But he was wrong about one thing. What? You don't need protecting. Your light, it's not fragile. It's not something that can be put out. It's a fire, and it's made me better, made me want to be better. I felt tears starting. Jung-soo, he got down on one knee. My heart stopped. I don't have a ring yet. I wanted to ask you first what kind you wanted, because this isn't about me deciding for you. It's about us deciding together. He took my hand. Amari Destiny, will you marry me? Not because I'm saving you, not because you need protection, but because I need you, because you see me, all of me, and you haven't run away. Yes, I said through tears. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. He stood up, lifted me, spun me around, and when he kissed me, I tasted salt water and joy and the promise of a future I never thought I'd have. Our wedding was small, intimate. None of the 400 guests from before, just the people who mattered. Jung-soo's mother who'd flown in from Korea and hugged me like I was already her daughter. His lieutenants who'd become something like brothers. My grandmother who'd video called from Lagos and cried happy tears. I wore a white dress, different from the first one. This one I chose myself, and when I walked down the aisle, there was no one laughing at my dark skin. There was only Jung-soo, looking at me like I was the sun, and he'd been living in darkness his whole life. We wrote our own vows. Jung-soo, I said, my voice steady, even though my hands were shaking. You walked into my life in an alley on a random Tuesday, and you saved me without even knowing it. You taught me that strength isn't about how much power you have. It's about choosing kindness when the world gives you every reason not to. I promise to see you, always, to protect your fire, not by hiding it, but by giving it room to burn. I'm yours. Completely. Dangerously. Forever. I was already crying by the time it was my turn. Jong-soo, I spent my whole life being invisible, being told I was too much or not enough. You made me visible. You saw me when I couldn't see myself. And yes, you are dangerous. Yes, you are complicated. But you're also honest, you're loyal, you're mine. And I choose you, every day, every moment, even the scary ones, especially the scary ones. When the officiant said, "You may kiss your wife," Jung-soo pulled me close and whispered, "My only regret is not finding you sooner." Jung-soo retired from active leadership of the organization. Not completely. He still consulted, still made the big decisions, but he stepped back, made time for something other than survival, made time for us. We split our time between Seoul and Lagos, built a life that was messy and complicated and absolutely perfect. I went back to school, became a social worker, started a foundation helping women escape trafficking, used Jong-soo's resources and connections to actually save lives. He pretended to be grumpy about it, but I'd catch him in his office, reading my case files, making calls to help. One evening, we were on our balcony watching the sunset. His arms around me, my head on his chest. "Do you ever regret it?" I asked. "Regret what?" "That night, bursting into my wedding, turning my whole life upside down." He was quiet for a moment. Then he turned me to face him. "My only regret," he said, echoing his words from our wedding day, "is not seeing you sooner. Every moment before you was just time I was wasting." I kissed him, long and slow and full of 3 years of trust and love and choosing each other every day. "I love you," I said. "I know," he smiled, that rare, real smile that was only for me. "You tell me every day, and I'll keep telling you, for the rest of our lives. Good, because I'm never letting you go." And he didn't. Not when his rivals tested him, not when my family finally met him and didn't know what to make of this dangerous Korean man who looked at their daughter like she hung the moon, not when life got hard or complicated or scary.